All right, guys and girls, what is going on? Listen, I'm calling this video Operation 322. Why am I calling it Operation 322? 3 patsies, 2 shooters, 2 distractions. That is pretty much what I've laid out. Now, I can show you a graphic real quick for that. We'll get back to this in a second too. But I've compiled a whole bunch of files together here for you so that we can kind of go through this together and look at all of this and see how it happened. But 3 patsies, 2 shooters, 2 distractions. 3 patsies, yellow, LC center, right there. Right there, 2 shooters. Those are the red. 2 distractions. 1 right there, 1 right there. Okay. That was an immediate on the ground distraction. This was an immediate on the news distraction to misdirect about false information. All right. So all of this was playing in play at one time. And this is why I'm calling it an operation. All right. All right, now that we understand that, and I am very happy that we are all going to be on the same page here, let's get back to it. The 3 patsies, Tyler Robinson, pistol patsy, and a cell phone gun guy. Now, I'm going to make this quite simple for you guys. I'm not going to make it very difficult for you because we don't have a lot of time. I want to get right to it, show you exactly what you need to know. And I'm going to do many videos covering this. This is just going to be one of the many videos that I do. I'm going to keep covering it until it sticks, until people get this. But I'm going to prove to you that the 2 shooters actually assassinated Charlie Kirk. I'm going to show you how both of them actually did it. I'm going to show you how both shooters were to cover for the 3 patsies, what their positions were and how they were covering for those 3 patsies. And I'm going to show you how the 2 distractions played into all of this to give the perception that the public now has, which is completely wrong. It is completely false. And I'm going to show you how they actually created this deception to make sure that you kind of stay dumbed down a little bit. Okay. So, as you can see here, I have the proof of location so you guys can see for the infrared beam and all that good stuff. Some of the detailed points that Charlie was shot twice. I'm going to show you that the BA sniper covered for the cell phone patsy, the palm shooter covered for the LC, and the palm shooter covered for the pistol patsy as well. Okay. I'm going to show you clear evidence of a lot of different things, but I have a lot of notes here. All right. So we're going to get past all of these notes right here. Even if we don't do it all in one video, guess what? We're going to continue working at this. I want you to just join me. Join me on We Are Not Going to Mars on TikTok. And we're going to continue talking about this until we're blue in the face. All right. So let's get to it. All right, guys. Now, as I said, everybody is assuming that this guy right here on the LC, okay, Tyler Robinson, took a shot and hit Kirk right here in the middle, hit Kirk right here in the middle of the, what do you call this thing? We'll say courtyard because that's what it's called on Google Maps. So we'll call it the courtyard. Hit Kirk right here in the middle of the courtyard. Now, that is a very long shot. It's not crazy long of a shot, but it's a decent distance, about a football field and a half away, to hit somebody, square in the neck. What we realized is a lot of that data was wrong. The type of weapon that they were saying was used was just way too powerful, and it literally would have been a really, really a way worse day than what it was for Charlie Kirk. So what did I find out? What I ended up finding out is that none of this happened the way they said it happened. And as a matter of fact, this person right here, there's no way that this person could have been the shooter. Why? Because this person on the BA building was the shooter. This is who shot and killed Charlie Kirk. This is the angle that they did it from right here. This is who shot and killed Charlie Kirk. This is who shot and killed Charlie Kirk right here. This was the first shot. This was the second shot. Again, this was the first shot. This was the second shot. And I'm going to prove this to you, okay? This person right here was nothing more than a patsy. This person right here, nothing more than a patsy. This person is cell phone gun guy. This person right here is pistol patsy, okay? This is distraction number 1. This is George Zen right here. This is distraction number 2. This is Phil Lyman on TV, and we'll get to his interview in a second, okay? And of course, back here, the infamous Tyler Robinson, who is being splashed all over the media as the person who's, caused all of this. Tyler Robinson did not cause this, guys. I don't know to what point he has an involvement, but I know it is not nefarious in a sense that he has caused any kind of real crime. I'm just going to be honest with you. He didn't shoot anybody. He didn't do anything. He was there. As far as I know of, he was in the area. We'll just say, I'm not even going to say there. He was in the area. And that's not a crime. As far as I can tell, it's definitely not a crime. I believe that he and others were coerced to go to the area that day, the patsies. I believe that they were groomed on the expectations of what they were to provide that day, and the patsies as well as the distractions. And I believe everybody played their role. I believe everybody did what they were supposed to do, including the 2 red dots. And I'm going to prove that to you now. I know you guys are sick and tired of waiting, so let me go ahead and get to proving. Guys, what is going on? Listen, welcome back. Let's get right into it, guys. I don't want to waste your time here. So look, let's start off with the 2 distractions, right? The 2 distractions are George Zinn and Phil Lyman. Now, as you can see, our 2 distractions are the blue dots. This blue dot right here, this is George Zinn. This one right here is Phil Lyman. Now, mind you, you see this little gray walkway right here. This is a balcony. This is about 1 story up off the ground from where this is. Mind you, this right here is the LC Center right behind that location. This is 1 story higher than this. This point of the LC Center is 1 story higher than this. Okay, so let's keep all that into consideration. George Zinn is down here on the ground. Phil Lyman is right here, and Tyler Robinson is right here. Okay, that's exactly what's going on in this picture. And of course, we know that Charlie Kirk is right here in the middle. There you go. All right. So as I told you in the last video before it went off, this right here is the second shooter, and this one right here is the first shooter. And the first shooter right here is the BA sniper. Call it the BA because this is what the building is actually called here. This is the administration building here on UVU. So from what I understand, I believe that's the administration building. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But for now, we're going to call it the BA sniper. So if we're taking a look at this now, look at it closely, guys. Again, this is the first shooter. This is the second shooter. Why does it look like this? It's very simple, guys. And if you didn't cover, follow me in the first video, I'll cover for you real quickly here. This shooter right here, okay, right here, was the first shooter that took out Charlie Kirk. This was the shot that went behind his head and down into the neck and shoulder area, and then came out the front of the neck area. This shooter right here shot him front center mass, okay? And this was a part of his security detail, all right? This guy right here, one of the 3 patsies, is the cell phone gun guy. This patsy, well, actually, we have another patsy back here that you guys already, of course, know, named Tyler Robinson. And then we have another patsy that people really don't know much about. He was just seen running with a handgun, a rather large handgun. And I believe he was just another patsy put there just in case the story wanted to go in that direction. So that's what they do sometimes. They'll add, a bunch of patsies on the ground so that depending on whichever way the public decides to take the story, they can kind of shift and mold their narrative, based on that. So, and they also have a couple of shooters. So to make sure that their target is absolutely taking out maybe 2 or 3, shooters. So, and it's always the shooters that are going to take the shots that are the trained professionals. It's never going to be, never, ever, ever going to be the patsies. Okay. The patsies do not take the shots. If they are given weapons, they're fake weapons. It are not real bullets because they don't want to risk ruining the operation. The operation is supposed to be executed by the actual shooters. Okay. Okay. Now let's go over here. I want to show you guys something. I'm going to zoom out. And remember I told you, I said, here we go. I said that the sniper, the BA sniper, actually shot from right here. Okay. And I meant exactly what I said. This is where the BA sniper shot from, right? We have to find out where the angle is that could be behind somebody who's sitting right here. If Charlie's sitting here, how could he be hit from up and from the top of his right ear to go in a downward direction into his body? Okay. Now, for the folks that are suggesting that it was the cameraman that were right here, it was not these cameramen. I'm not going to say that nothing nefarious was happening, but I'm going to say that these cameramen were not responsible for unaliving Charlie Kirk, not at all. The first shot, I have everything that you need in this video. The first shot was taken from the BA sniper, and the second shot was taken from right around here, which if we look at it out in the grass here, they had like a little fence thing set up and all of that stuff. So basically the second shot was kind of taken from almost the front of him a little bit right there, like a little bit off to his left-hand side a little bit. So, and hence why when his shirt got hit, it actually went up like this because his shirt was already poofed. I'm giving away too much. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys in a second. Just to see where that circle is, that's where the action is going to be. This is where you're going to see an actual flash. This flash that they're showing, and from this low point that they're showing it at, obviously below the flash. The flash is a little bit higher than the person who's actually taking this footage. I want to prove to you, easily prove to you, that where this flash is coming from, because we're going to couple this flash with the bullet and with the actual infrared beam itself. Now, watch this. I'm just going to press play here so you guys can kind of see it. There you go. Now I'm going to zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. Look. See that quick little, it's a quick little blink. Look how quick it is. That right there. Did you see it? One more time. Right there. Boom. All right. So that little blink that you just saw, that is the actual flash that's coming from the muzzle of the sniper rifle. Now, why is that important? That's super important. Super, super, super important. I want you to remember that. Now, we're going to go from the muzzle flash. We're going to find you a still frame of the actual bullet itself. Now, this is a little bit difficult to watch, but I'm going to show you where the actual bullet is. Of course, this is highly blurred out, so you can't see anything and make anything out, but we're going to go through this together real quick. And I'm keeping the sound off purposely so you guys can't, so it doesn't get any violations. Now, I have a arrow here pointing to it because I want you guys to be able to see it. Let's go over there and look at it. Let's see if we can see it with this arrow turned up like that. There we go. It's literally for a second. There you go. There it is. And this is why I did it like this too. I'm just going to let it play one time so you guys can actually see where the arrow's at. Just look at where the arrow's at. There, I could show you in slow motion too. That way, you guys can actually know where the actual bullet is at yourself. You don't have to worry about somebody else showing you. Now, there's better renderings, but I can't get them past the sensors without blurring it tremendously. And you can kind of see it go by, there. Again, I can't show you guys anything gruesome because they'll block me, they'll ban me. You can kind of see the shadow of the bullet right there. There you go. Now, look, I know it's not great quality, and I would show you the other quality that's out there. There you go. So I don't want to give you any quality that's better than that. You're more than welcome to go look and find it. It's there, but I can't give you that. So we have literally the outline of the bullet at this literally 2 frames of the bullet, and that's all you're going to actually get in that footage. There's another guy, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now, but there's footage out there of more footage of that actual bullet itself. Now, why did I show you this? I'm showing you the flash. I'm showing you exactly where the bullet is, and I have to kind of show you where it's coming from here. You'll notice that right here is the guy with the cell phone, okay? That's sitting right next to Charlie. This is right here, the guy with the cell phone. The bullet is right here, okay? Now, if the bullet is right here, and this is the guy with the cell phone, this is the bullet that's going right towards the back, the top right ear right here, and it's coming down. And remember, in a downward trajectory. All right. I'm going to show you guys something that I think is very important for all of this. And it helped me to piece together kind of what really happened here. So we have 2 things. We have the direction that the direction that the shot is coming from based on the muzzle flash reflection. We have a still frame of the bullet itself. Now, albeit it's not really great in this video, admittedly, because I can't make it great for you guys. I apologize for that. I can only show you where it's at and show you just basically a couple frames. I can't show you anything more than that. So we have the muzzle flash reflection, and I'm calling it a reflection for a reason. We have the bullet itself, and let's go to now we have the infrared beam. Now, when I show you this is what brought me to the conclusion that I came to. Let me see. Now, look, guys, I'm like you. I'm just downloading stuff. I'm trying to figure it out. You guys see? Look, you can look right in here and see what I got going on. Okay. Watch this, guys. Watch very closely. Pay attention. If I can do this off my cell phone, the FBI should be embarrassed. Now, mind you, we're not going to get to this guy up front over here. We're not going to get to him just yet, okay? Let's pause it. I'm going to show you guys something that everybody missed. Shout out to Stephen Ben Noon. I've been following him for a while now, Stephen Ben Noon. And, I'll give a special thanks at the end of the series for everybody that contributed to the information that I'm giving you guys. Stephen Ben Noon found this information, and brother, thank you. You helped solve this. Now I'm ex-military. Stephen Ben-Nun is ex-CIA, but he has converted his life. He speaks out against nation states that control the United States. He speaks out against the things that are going on in the United States. Powerful guy. So anyway, he gave us this beautiful, beautiful gem for me to help you guys with this today. So look at this. I want you to pay attention to this guy's cell phone right here and watch what happens. I'm not going to say anything. Just look. Look at this. Right as he was getting shot, right here. This is when the sniper drops his beam down. He barely dropped his beam down and it landed on this guy's cell phone. It was trained. The whole time you'll see the arm pop out behind the cell phone to give the signal to take the shot. Look at this. The arm pops out. That's the signal to take the shot. As soon as the arm pops out for the signal to take the shot, boom, it's taken. Look when the beam shows up. There's the arm. It's already trained on him. He doesn't have to put the beam on him or anything. It's already there. He's on the kill box. As soon as he's hit, boom, watch this. I'll show you the first line. Here it is. Right there, he's already hit. He's already hit right there. He's actually hit twice by that time. Okay? So this is what I mean by a lot of people miss this. Stephen Ben-Nun did not miss this. This is the infrared beam shining off of this guy's cell phone. Look at it. The first thing that hit Charlie was the shot that came from this infrared beam. The second was that jerk in front of him. That first shot, let me explain to you what happened here with the first shot. The first shot, okay? Oh, this is terrible. But the first shot that hit him, it came down. Look at me right here. I'm gonna just put myself down here. It came down and it went behind Charlie's head right here. Okay. It hit him right here. Now, when it entered into Charlie, it expanded. Okay. It expanded out the whole side of his neck and it pushed all of this left and forward, left and forward, left and forward. It expanded his whole neck. It blew out his whole shoulder and chest area and his whole neck expanded left and forward. At that time, based on the amount of volume that had expanded inside of his body, he was eviscerated from the inside, quite literally. Let me show you what that looks like. I hate to say it that way, but let me just show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like when you get shot. Thank you, Range Day, bro, for this. We appreciate it. This is what it looks like. Okay, when you slow it down a little bit, this is what you're going to end up getting. Watch the amount of expansion that happens when a bullet hits. Imagine that being a neck. Let's go back. Imagine that. That amount of expansion from a bullet is exactly what we're talking about. This is the shock wave that hit his body. Okay? And his body shook as such as he got hit and his body expanded. Now, you can't see that with the naked eye. This is what it looks like in real speed. Boom. It's just that quick. It's done. Boom. Just that quick. So when you see Tyler's shirt go up, this is why it went up, because of the expansion, okay, of the bullet expanding inside of him. Boom. It creates that pocket of expansion. This is why when I say eviscerated, this is what I mean by eviscerated. So what do we have, guys? What am I proving to you right now in real time? I'm proving to you in real time that no matter what you do, it doesn't matter what anybody does, what anybody tells you, you cannot make a beam bend. You cannot make an infrared beam bend. I'm going to put my face right next to this beam so you see it. You can't make an infrared beam bend. Wherever it's coming from, it's a straight line. It's a straight line, period. And what we see right here is Charlie is 1, 2, watch his shirt. See, as soon as that pops up on the screen, Charlie is hit. This is the guy taking the next breath and dropping it down, actually. Charlie is already hit. He's hit right there. Watch. Boom. You see the first sign of it. He's already hit. Look at his shirt right here. I'm going to show you where to look at his shirt at. Look at his shirt right here in this area, right here behind his neck. We're going to run it one more time just to show you guys. This is the most critical. This and another piece of footage I'm about to show you guys in a second is exactly how I was able to crack this and figure out what happened to Charlie. So this evidence is critical. I know it's taken a while, but you need to see it and understand it so people can't talk you out of your position. Pay attention. Okay. Here we go. Watch the shirt. Here it is. See that? That little bumping of the shirt? Right there. Right there. He's already hit, but you see the two little dots or the dot that's actually showing up on the screen, skipping off the screen. But he's already hitting the collarbone. Look at it pop out right there. And then he's hit twice. Boom. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. He's hit right here from behind, and this one goes down and through his neck. And look at his neck bulge forward. You can see the bulging forward as he slumps slightly to the left. And as he's doing that, he's then hit by this guy right here. This guy hits him from the front. So how do I know it happened just like this? Excuse me, guys. I apologize for coughing in the mic like that. How do I know that it happened just like this? Okay. Let me pull up another video for you guys so you can see something. I put together a little video just to kind of show. I did a little graphic too, just to kind of show you right here. This guy is doing a signal right beside Charlie. This is the guy's arm that we saw in the video. And this guy, I think he's moving off of an audio signal. They all have their microphones on, or they all have their earpieces on. So they can hear well. And everybody started moving at the same time. This guy put out the signal, I believe, for the BA sniper, so that he can see. I'm about to show you how he positions his body to move it so that the BA sniper can actually see him. He puts himself in the sunlight and he takes a little bit of a step back as he gives the signal to take the shot. Simultaneously, this guy right here hears it come over the microphone, and he turns and he takes his shot with the recoil that comes from his hand from his palm pistol.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Oh, that really looked like at that time. You know, there's probably 2 or 3 people in the crowd that have a gun.
Hang on.
Oh!
And then they say that you could see. So it looks like he's pretending to pull up his sleeve and he has a palm gun. That's what it looks like. And there's the bullet.
And again, his shot hit second, though, and I'm going to show you exactly where it hit. Matter of fact, let me show you where it hit first. So, you know, I'm not joking with you. Okay. There it is. It was right there the whole time. After the first shot hit him and expanded his neck and put this, what looked like, it looked like his microphone blew up. Now you guys can see clearly the microphone did not blow up. It's still there. These are little magnets that slide off real easy. Anybody saying that this blew up, that it did not blow up. I don't know if it was set to blow up. That could be another theory, a possibility. Maybe it was a detonated device that just didn't go off in there. I don't know. But I know that it did not cause a discharge that went through Charlie's body or anything like that. So he was not shot with a camera phone from behind. That's not what took him out. He was not blown up by this device right here. That's not what took him out either. But what we all missed was right there in the middle of the screen. When Charlie's shirt was puffed out from getting hit in the back of the head from that first round. Now, mind you, you cannot fake the infrared beam. You can't fake the flash in the window. You can't fake the bullet coming at the same exact trajectory that the infrared beam was on. You cannot fake any of that stuff. If you have a bullet, if you have a gun muzzle flash in the window, and if you have an infrared beam, trust me, the gun is somewhere in that direction, period. If you have a bullet, if you have a muzzle flash reflection, if you have an infrared beam, the gun is in the direction of all of that stuff. And the first thing that you follow is the infrared beam. And that's why I was able to figure out the BA position on the BA building for the sniper. Thank you again, Stephen Ben-Nun. But this guy hits him right here in the front. Now, let me show you guys what that actually looks like so you guys can understand how this ended up, being Charlie's fate, how he got hit twice by these people. And nobody is showing this. This is the first time that this graphic has been shown. It's on We Are Not Going to Mars. That's my channel. This is what I was able to find because people were wondering how this area of the t-shirt went up. I'm going to show you how. All right, guys, let me go ahead and show you real quick, exactly frame by frame. Now that you guys understand where the BA sniper is, now that you also understand where the palm shooter is, let me go ahead and show you guys what it looks like frame by frame, so you know how the sniper shot hit first, and you'll understand how the shirt poofed out at the top. As the shirt was poofed out, as it was poofed out, he got hit from here, from about the left-hand side, right near the heart area. That's why I said Charlie Kirk had no chance. He passed away instantly. I'm sure he didn't even feel anything. He was eviscerated from the inside, and then he got basically hit in his heart. I know that's horrible sounding, and it is tragic. It's terrible. But this is what they did to him. This is what they did, and then they blamed it on political stuff and all this. And this is so far beyond politics that this is just evil. So when his shirt was poofed out, mind you, his shirt is poofed out. As his shirt's poofed out, the second shot comes in and hits. Boom. And when it does, it hits. It sends that ripple of it being poofed out up like this, creating a temporary indention in the middle of the shirt and raising it from where it was poofed out. That's exactly what happened, guys. Watch. Okay? Just pay attention and watch. Oh, pause that. Listen.
You almost see like...
Hold on. Turn it off. Sorry. He's going to pick up the microphone unless he's putting it down right here. Watch the shirt puff up. Right there, he's hit. Right here, Charlie Kirk is hit. Okay? This is the shot from the sniper. Let me get again, I'm on a cell phone, guys, so just work with me. That's the shot from the sniper. Right there. Nothing blew up. You can see his thing is still in place. His earpiece is flown out at this point in time frame. Is flying out. Some people thought it was maybe some splatter coming out of the back of his head. Could be that too. But it's also the earpiece as well. I'll just say that. But the shot came in, and look at his neck expansion. The neck completely expands. And I don't want to get too graphic here, but I want you guys to see how this part of the neck right here is pushed up and to the left, as all of this is right here is kind of blown out, if you will, from the expansion of the bullet dropping down into right here. Okay. Now pay attention to it. Again, I don't want it to be too graphic, but we took out the actual, from where the bullet came out, we took that part out. So here, again, the bullet hits right there. Okay. Now, at this very second, this next second, this is why it was all on cue and for the shots to go off at the same time so that all the shots ended up sounding like one. That is the second that he got hit with the second shot. Boom. Look at that. Center mass, guys. Right there is clear as day. Just like the graphic I showed you. Just so you know, I'm not like altering anything or anything like that. I'm just showing you what's actually there in front of your faces. Like, they want to play us, but they don't understand. Some of us will take the time to go through this stuff frame by frame. I have now the muzzle flash, the infrared beam, the bullet. And again, I have a better video that's unblurred of the bullet that I would be able to share, but due to this stuff, I can't do it. So that's fine. But you can join me on PenPub next week. And on my platform, that's going to go beyond TikTok, Facebook, and all this. We'll be able to talk more intimately about this kind of stuff and more candidly about this kind of stuff. But this is the only evidence that I know of anybody who's talking about it from this standpoint and showing it from this standpoint. Okay. Look at that. He's hit. In the moment after he's hit with a second shot right in the middle. I mean, these shots are back to back. Boom, 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 boom. Just like that. Just like that. And it was over with. So this is why I'm trying to tell you guys, Charlie Kirk was hit twice. He was hit twice. Now, let's go through so you can get an idea. I got some pictures here for you. A lot of people thought that maybe he was hit from a person who was hiding in the bush here. From what I can tell, this is from a helicopter footage that's on YouTube that you guys can go find that as well too. There's a helicopter that went over the campus just after everything happened. From what I can tell, it doesn't look like he was hit from there, but I was able to find a massive, massive clue. Okay. That flash that we saw, remember I told you the muzzle, I called it the muzzle flash reflection. Friends and family, look at this. So if the sniper is shooting from here, from this position, and I'm going to show you the sniper too, okay? I got you guys. I've worked on this detailed. So if he's shooting from here, right, his flash would have been caught by this super reflective wall. Look how reflective this wall is. This table is way over here, and this is reflecting off of the wall. This wall, entire wall, can reflect this muzzle flash coming from this guy's rifle right here. Now, mind you, he has to just shoot down a straight path, again, right into the tent here, and it's the only line of sight that you can have because remember what we did in the beginning. This wall is too high. You can't stand anywhere else and have a beam. There's nowhere else to have a beam. There's nowhere else to have an infrared beam besides this hidden location. This hidden location on top of the BA building gives you that. You cannot, no one can see you. This balcony was closed off that day. So no one was on that balcony. And oh yeah, right here is a rail. And this rail would have been providing any kind of reflection or obscurity so that anybody in a crouched position here would not have been seen. There's nobody out there to see them. Now here's the thing. Here's the kicker. Let me help you guys out. Even though that may be the case, look what we have here. We have security cameras, guys. There's security cameras out here. Okay. So if we can get the camera, and if it's a 180 camera, it would have caught this muzzle flash at the same time too. So let's press UVU to give us that camera footage off the side of this building here and from that little outside area there, and we could probably be able to, we might be able to see something. Who knows? I don't know. The angle is kind of weird. I think this is why they picked this location, because there's just no camera that can pick that up. And if you're there in a crouched position, no one can see you. Like literally anywhere, nobody can see you. So that's why they picked this position. I'm very certain of it. Here's another picture of that. And if you see, this is the front of the building right here, and we'll drop down into Google Maps again so you guys can see that. All right, here goes another angle to show you. Here's what the front looked like that day. All right. Now, I do not know if they had the front shut off, if they had the front of the building shut down or something like that. It would have been a lot easier for this person to, of course, escape without being seen. He obviously was not seen. He was there with an infrared beam, did the job that he was hired to do or asked to do, and he got out of there undetected, all because of people like George Zen, all because of people like Phil Lyman. And I'm saying these names because they gave false narratives. They gave false narratives. This guy is saying that he's the person. This guy is saying, oh, it sounded like it was right over my head and he was nowhere near it. Okay. Now I would say, oh, he's not anywhere near it. So that makes him, less culpable, and maybe he made a mistake, but I'll just put it like, let me just click on this just to show you. If he made a mistake, then riddle me this, and shout out to Candace Owens. Candace, you've been crushing it. And I hope that this video helps you, Candace. I hope that this video helps the world so you guys can understand there's no way that you have a muzzle flash reflection, no way you have a bullet, and no way that you actually have the infrared beam, and you don't have the location of the gun being over there. The gun is absolutely coming from the top of the BA building. It is the BA sniper's location, exactly where I put that red dot at. What I want you to see is this, though. What I want you to notice is what actually just happened on your screen, and you probably missed it. This is Phil Lyman right here in the middle, okay? The day after, not only did Tyler Robinson end up on Phil Lyman's family's property after he left UVU campus, but Phil Lyman, and not only, I believe Phil Lyman's people were the people who turned in some of the initial footage to TMZ, and Phil Lyman is just all throughout this thing, right? I don't like his last name, Lyman, because I know that the powers that be, they like to play games with us with these last names and with these names in general. And when I hear the name Lyman, immediately I'm looking for the lie. I'm not even going to lie to you. I know it sounds stupid, but whatever. Let me show you why. So let me just show you real quick, and then we're going to go into part 3. What do you see? Now, do you believe me? Now, do you believe me? Or do you believe he got shot way from over here, from 200 yards in the neck right there? Or do you believe he got shot from right here, from where you can see a little head pop out and where you can see an infrared beam here and a bullet here and a muzzle flash reflection off of this wall here? What story do you want to believe? Do you want to believe the official narrative that tells you that he got shot from this far away, or do you want to believe your lying eyes? You tell me what you want to believe. Let's go back to it. It took me a while to do this, guys. Who is that? What is that movement? So within the seconds after this, I was able to get a few still photos, and this is what I was able to get from that corner of the building where that shot was taken. And this is just kind of blowing up on my phone, but there was obviously something there, something back there at that time of the shot. And this is the different things that I was able to kind of just key in on, if you will. You guys are more than welcome. As you can see, whatever it was moving back there. At this point that I caught this one, it was like swinging, if you will, in this kind of direction, like a swinging like that. So it kind of went like that, and I was able to kind of catch that. Now, a lot of these things are just a few little frames. Look. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. Okay? They've been lying to us the whole time. Look. If you have eyes, see. And there's only one video. One. This guy would have got away scot-free had it not been for this video. I don't know who this guy is that did this video, but whoever he is, he saved the day. Now, mind you, I would also like to get an idea of who this gentleman is. I have not been able to get, I don't have anything else about him, but maybe you guys can help me with that. So let me let you see who this is. All I can see is that he came running from back here, from that side over there. And he looks like he's maybe with the security detail. I don't know if he's undercover. I can't tell a lot about him. I don't know. So I kind of I would like to get that information. Yeah, I'd like to get that information. Anyway, let's go over here. If we have the infrared beam, okay? We have the infrared beam. We have the reflective flash, all right? We have extremely limited shot angle. We have a high rear exterior wall. If you look at my other video, we have shot sound mapping that actually maps to almost that exact location. It maps to about the corner of that building. Okay. We have witness testimony. That guy that I was just about to show you the interview of, I'll show you in part 3. Basically him getting shoved around by the TPUSA people to not give the interview because he was saying what he actually really saw. Okay. This gave it away though, guys. That infrared beam. The infrared beam was everything. And I have to really, 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 really thank Stephen Ben-Nun for that, because that helped me to really crack this and really kind of solve this and put him in a location and then to kind of reverse engineer what happened from that, point on. Yeah. So follow me, guys. Follow me, like, share, comment, share this out everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Get this out to the FBI. Get it out to President Trump. Tell them to try to debunk what I'm saying in this video. I wish anybody would try to debunk a beam, a muzzle flash, reflection, and a bullet, and sound mapping. Try to debunk that. Anybody. I don't think anybody can debunk that. I think we found our guy. I think the BA sniper, and I'm going to coin the term as the BA sniper. The BA sniper was the one who gave the initial shot to to Charlie Kirk. I apologize. BA sniper initially shot Charlie Kirk, and then the palm shooter in front of him, a part of Charlie's detail, also participated and shot him in the front. Now, I'll show you more of that in the third part, so you got to come back so we can cover his part a little bit more. But I wanted to get this part out the way to let you know that Operation 322 was an absolute operation. It was a hit job. It was orchestrated by the security team and other people, which would suggest that it's very, very high level. I can't say who the actors are involved. It could be state actors, which I would highly assume, maybe a couple different state actors. But we know that this is a very high level of precision, very high level of planning and capabilities. And I don't think there's anybody that can debunk the evidence that I put out here today. Information to you, because there you go. So if you can see right here where everything is kind of triangulated, that the sound basically came from there. Now let me pull my pen out here so I can show you here. If you can see my little thing on the screen, it came from here. Now this is exactly where I'm telling you that the shooter was, right about here. Okay. And actually, the shooter would have had to have been right here at the crease of where the reflection off the wall can catch the muzzle from his flash, which would have reflected off of this window. Hence why somebody on the camera could get it being right here. Look at that reflection coming off of there from somebody shooting right here. All right, now let me actually not hold you guys up any longer, and we're going to get into it. I'm going to actually show you. There you go. I hope you guys like the raw nature of this video and just kind of scrolling around showing you my notes and showing, and it's a live feed. You know, I didn't make it all extra pretty or anything. I just have the files in here as I was viewing them and the ones that caught my interest eye and screenshots, screen recording, stuff like that. And your little arrows here to point things out to you guys. All right. So hope you guys like the presentation of it like this. It's kind of rough and a little bit raw, but you guys get it right. So now you know what the sound mapping actually looks like. So you can know that the sound mapping was done, you know, to that location of the shot. No, it was not done on for the LC back here, which is, you know, 150, 200 yards away. No, it wasn't done there at all. The sound mapping was actually done right here. It's actually done right here in that area. All this right here, this is where the sound actually came from. Okay, as you'll see, denoted by that red dot that I have there from one of the shooters. All right, now here comes the good stuff, right? We talked about George Zen. We talked about Phil Lyman. What I wanted to kind of key in with you guys on before I actually show you exactly who the shooter is, because there's two shooters, right? So we already have one of them. You guys should already know who the first one is. That's the palm shooter, right? So we can kind of get into showing you why the palm shooter. I actually want to explain to you why the palm shooter did what the palm shooter did. Okay, so let's pull up the palm shooters, kind of their footage real quick. And I also wanted to show you this interview over here too, because it's important that you guys understand exactly what's going on here, so that when people talk to you about this, you're educated. You're not just, you know, coming off of the hip and just saying, hey, I think that it happened like this. No, you can actually know what actually happened, right? So let's go from here. All right, the palm shooter that you see here. Now, you guys will remember from the second video, I used this. The palm shooter, and this is very easy to understand what I'm about to tell you. All right. The palm shooter's job was to make sure that he hit Charlie Kirk in the center mass. That was to make sure that you believe, that the audience believed, that he was hit in the front. He was never meant to get hit in the front by either of the patsies. I repeat, he was never meant to get shot in the front by either of the patsies. It just wasn't a thing. Okay, the patsies did not have operational weapons that could have done anything to anybody. I'm just being honest about that. All right. The only one that I have a question about is what I call the cell phone patsy. And before I even show you this, let's go back to the cell phone patsy just real quick. All right. Where are we at? Here we go. So this person right here, this dot right here, this is what I call the cell phone patsy. The person who was sitting right here next to Charlie Kirk. And they're in the white t-shirt, and it looks like they kind of ratchet one of the cell phone guns to get ready to shoot, and it looks like it actually recoiled in the video. I'm not going to lie about it. It looks like it recoiled. Wasn't able to catch a frame for a bullet, wasn't able to catch any entry, and wasn't able to catch anything plausible that says that he was exactly shot by that gun. Even if the gun did go off, there was no real bullet in it. When the patsies are given their weapons and given their missions and their weapons, they're ineffectual. They're there for show. They're there to in case the camera goes that way, or in case the public perception goes that way, that can be the patsy that they actually get. So, and it's always to hide the actual real shooters. In this case, we have 3 confirmed patsies. And if you'll see right here, there's the guy I was talking to you about right here at the top. And it's like the ratcheting of the gun. The very next frame, Charlie is shot. But I truly believe that this person that was a patsy was in on it with this guy who's doing the motion right here. He's giving the motion right here. So the very next frame he's shot. I believe this person was in on all of it. but I don't believe they gave him anything real. That's just my theory on that. And if he was given anything, he would have been given maybe the detonation device for anything that would have been right here. He would have been the one to kind of set that detonation device off. And I seen these guys all handing off something when Charlie went down. I'm kind of wondering if it was the fact that this did not explode and they were getting this off of him and kind of removing it and getting out of the scene. That's just a theory. That is purely speculation, what I just said right there. That has nothing to do with the facts that I'm about to show you. I'm just guessing for the white t-shirt cell phone gun guy that I'm calling him. I don't know what he was doing, but I know it had to be something, and it was in correlation with his operation, with the whole Operation 322. This person had to be a part of it. In my opinion, that's my very strong opinion about him. So let's move on. I don't want to make this too long for you guys. We covered a lot in part 2. Let me see here. I want to go back, and that was down here, I believe. Here it is. So I want to go back in here, and I want to kind of show you this again. Now, as you'll remember in part 2, we went off of the beam that's bouncing off of his cell phone right here, right? The beam just before he was shot. We showed you the little bumping out of the neck, the first little bumping out of the neck that happened right here. What else? We showed you, we showed you after the bumping out of the neck because of the bullet coming in right here and expanding out the neck, pushing it out to the front left. Okay, front and left. And if you can see me up here, I'll put myself down here. There we go. I'll go right here. Front left. Bullet comes in like this to the back, and it comes out right here. Okay, and it expanded all of this on Charlie. His neck looked like a tree trunk for the flash of a second. So I showed you all of that in part 2 and what that looks like when the bullet creates a cavity, a temporary cavity inside of an expanding cavity inside of a inside of a structure, a human structure, or any kind of structure that is like an organic based kind of material. It's not a solid, it's an organic based kind of material. So it creates a huge cavity. And that's what happened to the inside of Charlie's body when that first bullet actually landed and hit him. Let me move this. When the first bullet actually landed and came down into Charlie right here, it created a huge cavity that pushed to the front left and pushed all of this out and made his body sink down, his shirt hop up. And as his shirt hopped up, this guy shot him. And right in the front center mass of his shirt. And I showed you guys that picture as well, too. At the end of this is all kind of like a little bit of a recap, okay? Now, we're going to take this recap and we're going to scale it up a little bit because I want to show you guys, let me see. Let me pull up that picture for me so you can see, you can be kind of on track. There you go. When the shirt was already up in the air, this is where the second shot landed from the palm shooter. And mind you, this guy is on Charlie's detail team. Now, I also, security detail, I also showed you, how this guy right here basically gave the order. I showed you how he backed himself up, and in backing himself up, he hit his arm and he gave a signal off of his arm. He stuck his arm into the sunlight, as you kind of see right there. But go over video 2 and you can see, all of that again for yourself. So now we're going to get to the good part, right? What I think you guys need to understand is, and I'll say this before I actually show you who this person is that actually shot him. We're going to go right into that after I show you this. What I need you guys to understand is this. This patsy up here on the LC building, which is Tyler Robinson, was the #1 patsy that they wanted you to see. He was the one that they had their whole story ready for, centered around everything. This patsy in the audience with the handgun right here, there's other patsies too, but I'm focusing on these main 3 because these main 3 actually had weapons. This patsy right here with the handgun that was in the audience, he, in my opinion, he's the patsy that if anybody would have saw him, if any security would have saw him and engaged him, they probably would have took him down, and then he would have became the center of attention. And or even if they would have took him out, dead men don't speak. They would have connected him to Tyler Robinson in some kind of way with an online community or something like that. Whatever online community they want to target and kind of dismantle. Over here, the cell phone gun guy. Now, if the camera would have caught this angle, if the media would have ran with this first, I believe they would have used this patsy to cover the fact that the BA sniper actually shot him from this angle. This guy looks like he's ratcheting a gun and shooting from this angle. So you would have had basically the same effect coming from the news anchors and the news TV saying, oh, he was shot from somebody in the audience, and they would show the cell phone gun guy over and over and over and over again, right? But they're not going with that narrative. They're full stop going with this narrative of Tyler Robinson. So this guy up here, the palm shooter, was meant to actually shoot him from the front, because you have to sell the narrative of either this guy being activated or this guy being activated. Whichever one they decide to go with, this guy covers both of them, while This guy right here covers that patsy. Now it could be said the other way around, that these patsies cover these two, killers. But basically, the point of the patsies is to throw you off from the scent of the killers, exactly where they are and what they are doing. So you're supposed to only look at the patsies. Unfortunately, fortunately for us, these people were tremendously sloppy. So this guy was easy to see. Everybody knows that this man shot Charlie Kirk. I don't understand how he's not arrested yet. I don't understand how there's not a conversation and discussion about it yet. I think it's an embarrassment to our country. I think it's an embarrassment to us as citizens of the United States of America, that we could actually see something, physically see something, have all different kinds of camera angles and evidence showing this thing. And yet I even showed you in part 2, the bullet. Now, I'm not going to go into all that here on this one here, but you can clearly see the bullet that actually comes out of this. And it is completely sad when you realize how, there you go. We're actually going to go over real quick, how this thing recoiled. Look at his hand, how this thing recoiled right there. Look, he wasn't fixing his shirt. He just shot Charlie. There you go. Look at that. Recoiled. Look at this individual. This is uncut. Look at the frantic running. Can you see that? Look at the frantic running. And I said in the video yesterday, who is that? And I'm saying it again today. Who is that? Screenshot it if you need to, guys. Slow it down for you real quick, too. There you go. We're going to slow it down real quick for you so you get a really good view of this. Who is this guy? Overdressed. Completely overdressed. Who is that?